Friends, today I am going to explain to you the 2008 film The Happening. The story begins by showing New York's Central Park, where many people were walking. But suddenly, all those people stop, and some of them start walking backwards. No one could understand what was happening because now no one was in their right mind. Two ladies were sitting on a bench in the park. No one could comprehend what was going on because no one was in control of their senses. Here, two ladies were sitting on a bench in the park. One of the ladies starts repeating the same thing over and over, and then she takes her pen and starts severely harming herself. In the next scene, we see a construction site, where workers working above suddenly start falling down. The people below think it might be an accident, but when they look up, they see many people voluntarily jumping off. Well, in the next scene, we see a high school teacher, Elliot, teaching his class about nature. He was explaining that there are many mysteries of nature that humans know nothing about. An emergency meeting is called at the school. And everyone is told that our city has been attacked. Perhaps someone has released a poisonous gas into the air, causing people to harm themselves. Therefore, everyone is advised to leave the city. So, Elliot, along with his wife, a friend, and that friend's daughter, sets out on a train to Philadelphia. But soon these people are informed that the poisonous gas, or whatever the virus is, has also spread to Philadelphia and all surrounding areas. So, there's no point in going to Philadelphia anymore. Therefore, the train stops in a deserted spot along the way. All the train staff and the people on board get off. The train staff tells everyone that the train signals have stopped working on their own, meaning they can't go forward. So, now they must continue their journey on foot. Meanwhile, in a park in Philadelphia, many people are walking when suddenly a gust of wind comes through. Everyone stops, and these people also start harming themselves. Meanwhile, Elliot's friend finds out that his wife, who was previously in Boston, has now left for Princeton. He desperately wants to go save his wife. So, he leaves his daughter with Elliot and hitchhikes a ride, heading towards Princeton to save his wife. But when he reaches Princeton, he discovers that the virus has also affected this city, causing people there to harm themselves as well. And then, the man driving the car is also affected by the virus. He increases the car's speed and crashes into a tree. In this accident, everyone dies, but Elliot's friend survives. He gets out of the car and sits in the middle of the road. But now the virus had affected him too, causing him to harm himself, and thus he also dies. Meanwhile, Elliot sees a viral video where a man, under the influence of the virus, walks into a zoo lion enclosure. The lions hunt him, and while this is happening, he is neither screaming nor shouting, as if he feels no pain. The news reports that this is not a terrorist attack. They didn't do it, nor did any country. Instead, these events started in the Northeast, where there is a large nuclear plant. It's possible that radiation leaked from there, affecting people's brains and causing them to harm themselves. Elliot decides to go far away from the Northeast and that area. So, he hitchhikes with a man and his wife. The couple, who run a nursery, take him there. The man says he thinks all this is happening because of the plants. The plants are releasing the poisonous gases. Just like when they get infested with insects. They communicate and release a specific chemical that drives the insects away. And now, perhaps the plants want us humans to stay away from them. But Elliot doesn't believe this theory at all. Further along the road, these people see many dead bodies lying on the street. Realizing that the gas has started affecting this area too. They meet two men who tell them that the gas has affected the road both ahead and behind. So, going forward or backward will be dangerous. They also guess that the virus is only along the road route. Therefore, they decide to split into two groups and take different paths. There's a small village nearby. They will reach there quickly. After this, they all do just that. Elliot's group was the smaller one, walking ahead, and the larger group was following behind. Then, a gust of wind comes towards the larger group following behind, after which they all become infected by the virus. They lose their minds and start harming themselves and each other. Elliot looks back and sees that the entire group has killed each other. Elliot doesn't understand why his group wasn't infected. So, he thinks about it again, and quickly realizes that the virus first showed its effect in the park, where there were many plants, and it also affected people walking along the roadside, because there are plants on both sides of the road. He also remembers an article he read some time ago about scientists in Australia finding bacteria in water that existed millions of years ago, and are very dangerous to humans. Later, many fishermen died because of them. And perhaps now, nature is bringing about a change in itself, harming humans. what the water bacteria did before, the air is doing now, because humans have harmed not only water but also plants and all of nature. Therefore, nature wants to get rid of humans. He also understands that the plants are targeting those humans who are in very large groups. Just then, they suddenly see a house. But before they can take shelter in the house, they see a very large group of people heading towards it. So, they quickly distance themselves from the house. When the entire group gets close to the house, the virus affects their minds. They lose their mental balance and start harming themselves. Elliot becomes convinced that his theory is correct. After this, he takes his wife and the others to a house nearby. An old woman is sitting there. Inside the house, there is no light, no internet, nor any other technology. This old woman had completely isolated herself from the outside world. Elliot tells the old woman that he wants to stay at her house with his family for a few days. At first the lady refuses, but later at Elliot's request, she agrees. Elliot knew there was no danger here. However, he wanted to tell the old woman what was happening in the outside world because she knew nothing about it. That night, the old woman gives Elliot's family food and a place to stay. But the next morning, the old woman's behavior changes. She starts yelling at Elliot to get out of her house. Then she goes out into the garden, stops at a spot, and suddenly starts walking backwards. Seeing this, Elliot is shocked. He understands that the plants have now made this old woman their target. Although the plants hadn't done this to the old woman before. Perhaps they became angry, because she gave people shelter in her house, meaning, they have emotions too. Because city people harm plants, the plants were mostly targeting city people. But now they have targeted this old woman as well. Elliot quickly goes inside and closes all the windows and doors to avoid getting infected. But then the old lady comes around the house and breaks the glass with her head. The plants are making her do all this. Elliot is looking for his wife and his friend's daughter inside the house. But his wife and the little girl are not in the main house. There is a small hut nearby connected by a small pipe, which is why Elliot could hear their voices. Elliot tells his wife to close all the windows and doors of the hut, and she does so. But then the winds become strong, meaning the plants want to break the windows and doors to make them their prey. Now, these people also start to feel that their final moment has come. So, they decide to stay together at the end. They come out of their shelters and gather in an open field. There they hold each other's hands. And then a powerful gust of wind blows through them. But nothing happens to them, making them understand that the effect of the toxic gas released by the plants is now diminishing. So, he stays at that house for the next 3 months, and after 3 months, he returns to his city. Life there has somewhat returned to normal. Many people in the city had survived, but many had also died. So, there are very few cars on the city streets because the world's population has been greatly reduced. Meanwhile, a debate is on TV where a scientist says it was a natural disaster, because our nature is rejecting humans since humans are harming nature. But the scientist is asked, if that's really the case, why didn't this happen in many other parts of the world? Why did it only happen in America and its other similar cities? He has no answer for that. He only says that it's possible this apocalypse will come again in the future, and happen in other countries. After this, we are shown a scene in Paris, where 2 friends have come on vacation. They are walking when one of the friends starts repeating the same thing over and over. Everyone suddenly stops here, which clearly indicates that the plants will now target humans in this place and reduce the population. And with this, this story ends here. So friends, how did you like the story of this film? Do tell us by commenting. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We'll meet again in the next great video.